Hey everybody, I'm Cherish.
And I'm Joy.
And we're
Tusicles Musicals.
And wow, we've never done a review somewhere that wasn't our home. Well, that's not true. We kind of did one in the car with Mother, but we were still home, technically. Joy, tell the folks who we are.
We are doing this video live from Chicago.
Yay, Chicago. Not Chicago the musical, but like actually like Chicago, like the Windy City, like um where all those like murders happened in that like boarding house hotel back in the World's Fair, and Al Capone, and where they played the baseball at the field. What's the field called?
Hercules.
Thank you. The gum. I was like the gum people. What else is Chicago famous for? Oh, the deep dish pizza place, and
the Chicago hot dog.
Yeah, and the Bean. That place. We're here. We've been here, and we just got back from
The Devil Wears Prada.
Woohoo!
The musical. And our handy dandy program pocket.
Woohoo! So, I would say, I wanted to go to this musical. Yeah. Like I was like, Joe, we gotta go. Then I didn't think we were gonna go, but then I was like, no, we just gotta do it. We gotta go. So I have to say, I don't regret coming at all and seeing it because I'm very interested to see the journey of this show. I feel we've never seen like an out of town tryout of a show. I can say after seeing the show, it does need a lot of work, but nothing that can't be fixed. But we were very excited about this show because just like the team behind it, like the book is written by like Kate Weatherhead, who like we absolutely like adore. We were like kind of hoping we saw her, but it's okay. She might have been there, who knows. And then
Sir Ellen John did the music,
which we'll get into that later.
You know, it has so many people. You know, it has D. Beth Leavell in it.
Mm-hmm.
The drowsy chaperone herself. It also has our waitress Peach, Jesse Hooker Bailey, and Tyrone Davis Jr., and a few other people. We also Tiffany Mann from When We Saw Bremo Chill was in it, and forget his name. Javier Munoz is in it, and there's another guy. We saw him in Anastasia. I mean, this show literally, it has, some good peeps in it. So we're so excited to see it, and
it's also a little special because, as we said, it's starring out like a lot of waitress people. Like the waitress to Devil Wears Prada pipeline is strong, and the Mean Girls pipeline too. They got a few Mean Girls people in it.
Megan Matako Haley.
Yeah, she's good. I could just hear the Gretchen. I was like, yeah, she was a Gretchen. Like throughout the show. But what was I going with this? Oh. We actually got to like meet Jessie Hooker Bailey. We've met her before, but like she like came and like spoke to us after the show, which I thought was like nice.
Very kind of her.
Yeah. It was an experience. So what should we start with? Should we start with like the theater?
Yeah. So this is our first time seeing shows outside of New York. Outside of Broadway. So. It was our first time in the Chicago Theater District, and we got to see it's playing at the James M. Netherlander Theater, which was not a new name of a theater for us, but a new theater itself. And wow, that's a very, very old grand theater.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that it's kept retro on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
With the Nederlander sign, kind of like the Chicago theater one, like it's like that. It's very old, and I really appreciate that they kept that. So historic, I should say. Wow,
it's
that
huge.
is humongous.
It's huge.
Which I think we'll touch more about, you know, the downside to such a huge theater, I should say, particularly with sound. But yeah, so it was very new. We were pretty close to the stage. We were row D.
So it was actually 3
rows back from
the stage,
because they have an orchestra pit, so you know there's space, and
had a lot of leg room.
we were orchestra right. Yes, that's the also thing. It did not skimp on the leg room. Like wow, like not even like a generous amount. Like this was like gratuitous. Like you had more leg room than you would on a flight, I would say.
Yeah, right.
It felt more like an Amtrak seat, if not a bit more. Actually, no. I think it might have been a bit more than an Amtrak seat. Actually, it was it was very comfortable, I should say. But wow, it's a beautiful theater. Such ornate details. Like they just don't make stuff like that anymore. Like wow, like people really took the time to like entertain your eyes, the visuals. You know, back then.
We will say, if anybody cares, the theater does not require. I mean, this is in their last week, and I don't know how like soon this video is gonna get out, but the show will probably close before. But the theater did not require masks. They strongly recommended it. Of course, nobody was strongly recommending anything, but there were no masks.
Not even a mask for you to grab in case you forgot your own.
Yeah, that was not there. I mean, the drinks were flowing. I have never seen so many snacks in my life at the theater. So that was a little different.
And a lot of different wine areas. I'm like, wow, they really making sure people are lubricated. Their drinks are, you know, not dry.
So that was interesting. But we noticed that like the crowd was like more formally like dressed than we've seen it at Broadway lately. So that was also interesting. I mean, it was like lax in some ways and then like formal in other ways. Like, and then I feel like in Broadway it's a little like reversed. Yeah, so that was that. The stage sits pretty high, and we were pretty close to the stage, but I think because we have that the orchestra pit to like cut us off a little bit, it kind of like pushed us back, and so we felt like our necks weren't like this like at all. So that was nice. What else about the theater? We didn't visit the bathroom, so sorry about that. I don't know. There was like one little like merch stand.
Yeah.
Like, and I do mean a little merch stand. We did get some merch. The merch was a little. We'll get to the
Creative goods hire us. We have ideas.
We do. Shall we get to the show?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Shanna Toll did
the lyrics. Yeah, I know Elton did the music, so to speak. She did the lyrics. Shanna Toll. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, I said the standout moments of the show. So I'm not gonna do a synopsis of the show because I feel like it's a pretty well-known movie.
Yeah,
a short one. This is gonna be
a little different. Devil Wears Prada is based off a movie starring Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep about a woman who gets a job at a fashion magazine, becomes a personal assistant to the editor-in-chief of said magazine, who is like loosely based off of what's the fashion lady? Is it Anna Wintour?
Perhaps, yeah.
Is that her? Yeah. Who so notoriously difficult to like work for, and Andy herself isn't into fashion per se, but she uses it as like a stepping stool to get like where she wants to in her like her writing career, and she turns out to be actually a pretty good assistant to have, and it opens up these like, puts a strain on her like family, her home life, her romantic life, blah 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 blah, and they learn a thing or two from each other. So the musical more or less follows that.
The movie, yeah.
We should have rewatched the movie before we came, but we've seen the movie enough times. I feel like to be like, huh? Yeah, it follows pretty much closely. I mean, in the musical, she doesn't have twin daughters. She has a daughter.
Who's much older.
Yeah, than the twins.
She's not a child.
Right. Let's see. Andy is a newly
graduated from undergrad.
Yeah,
too.
undergraduate student.
What else? No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Andy is played by Taylor Iman
Jones. Is it Jones? This is J name. Taylor Iman.
Yeah, Jones. Yeah, you were right. Yeah, Taylor Iman Jones, who I don't know. I feel like she was like a chameleon. She looked different. She looked like somebody else every time we saw her. Like on the stage, I was like, she looks like Kiki Palmer. She looks like Ada Osman. She looks like so many different people. I really like. I was like, why did she keep like changing? How did she do that? I don't know how she did it,
but yeah, we have our handy dandy notes, and yeah. So for me, my standout moments of the show was the transition from New York City to Paris. Which, should I tell the people exactly what happened, or would that ruin it?
I don't know. You could just say it's very clever.
It was very clever because they used
what was already there.
What was already there the whole show, and I don't know why I did not make that connection that was gonna happen. I love when they. I love that type of theater when they, I love that. We love multi-use things.
Yes.
And so it was very beautifully done. It was very smart, very clever. I really like that. That really, really stood out to me. I think everyone was like, "Oh, wow!" So that was really nice. And if you familiar with the movie, there's this whole like cerulean moment where Andy like laughs when they're trying to put together like these outfits, and they're like, "What's so funny?" And she's just like, "It's like blue," and she's like, "Actually, it's cerulean." Anyway, there's this whole thing. They turn it into like a sort of like talk.
It was about the belts.
About the belts, and it was like a song about the color blue, which is actually cerulean, which actually ties into Andy's, outfit that she's wearing, even though Andy doesn't think that, it's that important or it had any effect on her, which turns out it did. So I really liked this song. It was the first song that I was really like, like I was really into. But I don't know. I think it's a combination of like the music with like the talking, like it's kind of like
it was like, okay. Think oh my god, you guys, and Legally Blonde when they're like, oh my god, oh my god, you guys, when she like Elsa like violates on the lady on Courtney, like who's like being like dismissive to her, and then they be like, Elsa, right? That's what girls like. Like that's what that song was kind of like. It was a little like.
It was also giving me Miss Baltimore Crabs from Hairspray.
I can see that too.
Like the style in which it was delivered was in kind of like that. Like it's very like slow and like it stays like this, but it also builds at the same time. You actually really feel bad for Andy.
I also was getting a little like Ascot. A little bit, like when they were
from My Fair Lady.
Yes.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. So that was my standout moment. So what were yours?
I had the same things, but then I also did like the opening. It's like a really cool. You mentioned it was a little 42nd Street. It's just like the curtain rises up. Excuse me, just like the teeniest, like enough to like see legs and like feet, and then like just like the click clacking of like the heels. It was kind of reminiscent of the movie a little bit. Like they focus on the shoes,
the models that
and a little bit like that. I think that's what they were kind of referencing. And then And then you see like Andy's feet, who like clearly look different from everybody else's, and because she's different, right? And
she's wearing tights, and
then
knit tights.
Yeah, and then that opens up. I like the opening. So yeah, the opening.
The opening was nice.
Performances.
I was gonna say I really like Javier Munoz's
character.
Yeah, his performance was really well.
He plays Nigel.
Yeah, he plays Nigel, which is Stanley Tucci's character in the movie. What I've never seen Javier perform live myself, but just knowing that the works he's known for, this is a completely different role for him. So I actually really appreciated seeing this side of like theater to him. You know, he's not rapping. You know, he's not. You know, it's his role. Not that he's in like Lynn's shadow, but he had a very obviously close relationship with Lynn.
Yes.
In his works, but it's his. You know, it's his role, and he does it really well, and very dignified. He had a really nice song. He has like two songs, but I like his first song where he's kind of like explaining to Andy that
she needs a makeover.
Yeah, she wants a makeover, and he's just kind of like, well, if you need one, you got to do like X, Y, and Z. I really like that song. In the song, he explains to her that, you know, he does have a backstory. You know, there's a clever line. He's like, oh, I have a backstory. You know, he's married, and you know, he has like this life. You know, and his life was hard growing up and things like that. I really like that song too, and very interesting character. He's a very interesting character in the movie too.
Yeah, he's still funny. A lot of the laughs from the show come from him. But yeah.
What else are your stand-up performances?
I like the ensemble. I think the ensemble was working like really hard, and it's a
pretty big cast.
Yeah, and they're utilized very well, I would say. And yeah, I appreciated seeing them on stage. I just like them. Now, we talked a little about the set.
Yeah, the set. I think right now the set is probably the strongest part of the show. I do like the transitions from like Miranda's office versus like Emily's and Andy's like workspace.
There is a turntable.
There is a lot of pieces come on and off and stuff like that. So it's very full. Not crowded, but it's full. It's not minimalist at all. It gives me kind of like Tootsie a little bit, but maybe a little bit more, with a little bit of Bronx Tale, kind of in terms of like set. You know what I mean? Yes and no. Yes and no. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, the set was really good. I liked that the runway sign changed colors. I liked the walls went in and out of being see-through and like foggy, glass stained. Was that it? What is that?
They use projections.
Like
the background. I particularly like when Andy gets in the elevator and like it's like it
makes it look like it's going up.
Yeah, so that was cool. But it wasn't an elevator. It was like
the set pieces that we were referencing earlier for Paris was the elevated train. What do you call these? Pillars? Trestle? What?
You have your trundle?
You know, if you any elevated trains have like these metal like posts that hold the tracks up.
Yeah. So
that I like that they stayed on the stage the whole time.
Yeah.
Mostly just to remind you she was in New York City. And, yeah.
Music. Music.
The music. Yeah.
The music. So. Is it the worst music?
No.
Of course not. Elton John did the music. We were saying there's a little bit of a disconnect. We felt
like the music did not match.
Kind of like the tone of the show. I mean, every once in a while, like usually it was the ensemble numbers that really kind of like brought it back.
Yeah,
like
but
for
individually, it wasn't quite like Andy's songs,
like the ballads and stuff. Yeah,
I didn't quite care for Andy's songs. I couldn't tell you really what her songs are, to be honest. Like we were talking and we were like, when you think of movies to musicals that done really well, Legally Blonde comes to mind. The music matches the tone of the show.
Yes.
And while also being very musical theater, it also is very singable.
Yes.
Or like referenceable.
Yes.
Like there's several songs you could think off the top of your head, Legally Blonde. Like the energy was there. And like Billy Elliot, it matches the tone of the show. What else? There's another one. Kinky Boots is another really good one where it matches. Well, like Kinky Boots, the musical is very different in tone from the movie, I would say.
It is.
Like, sometimes you have to camp it up a little bit,
yes.
and maybe Prada needed to camp it up a bit more. You know what I mean? So, it wasn't our favorite, the music. And I felt it's so interesting because the book is there.
Yes.
The songs just didn't match, like, stylistically. It could have been, choices could be made differently. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's not to say, like, maybe Elton shouldn't do the music, but maybe Elton shouldn't do the music. People have a certain expectation for Elton, and it's just kind of not. He's a really good storyteller, but he doesn't do the lyrics, so maybe that also is it too.
Maybe.
I don't know. The music, it was so interesting. Yeah, definitely the ensemble numbers were great. Like the Devil Wears Prada, like that was great.
Yes,
that song. Like I was like, yes, we need more of that, and stuff. The Devil Wears Prada song. See, they don't have song lists in the playbook, so we can't really tell you what exactly. But it was right before intermission. The Devil Wears Prada. I think the song will probably be called The Devil Wears Prada, right?
Maybe, yeah.
I really like that song. But yeah, on the whole, like the music just did not.
I also liked what's the song that Emily sings? When What You Call Us Going to Paris. I liked that song.
Yeah, I don't remember the name. Sorry.
Bon Voyage or something like that.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was a clever song. It was I like that one. Yeah. And it fit the character very well.
Yeah.
But yes. Speaking of other things, we did say one of the biggest things in the movie was like people hate like Andy's like boyfriend and like her friend group, and we will say like that while yes they are still annoying, it makes more sense in the context of the musical because they are recent undergrads and they're allowed to be a little immature, and they're allowed to like I guess they're like growing pains a little bit, like like they're like losing their friend that they've had for like what is it, like middle school or something like that. And like she's changing, that it can be upsetting, and so we'll grant them that. And they did make them realize that they were not being like as forgiving as they could be, that they were not as like nice to Andy, since getting her new job. But I appreciated that.
I just really
they were more self-aware.
I just wanted to shake them and be like, you don't see that if she does this job really well, she can have any job that she wants and stuff will go back. She could go back to having a regular like 9 to 5 life and see them and stuff like that. It just they all kind of felt a little tone deaf.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like,
and so we were like, maybe they didn't really understand what she did. She's a personal assistant.
Yeah.
She's not a receptionist. Like, she's a personal assistant to someone who doesn't have a 9 to 5. So her job is not going to be a 9 to 5. She's going to be working weird hours. And it's a little more, like, demanding. And I just feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like as long as she's giving the rent money, who cares?
Like, really?
She'll see you when she sees you.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was, this the character of, like, Christian. Characters we could do without. Literally, we could,
we didn't need him. Yeah.
We could drop it, and it
would still work.
Yeah. And she, like, cheats on her boyfriend, and then, like, it's not addressed at all. Maybe it will be. Maybe it was in previous versions, but we'll see.
Yeah. I was like, did they just gloss over that's the fact that she cheated on her boyfriend in Paris? That was a little strange. Which, like, yeah, I just thought that was strange because Kate is really good at closing storylines. So the fact that was just kind of, I was just like, I needed a line or something. Yeah, but we feel like Beverly will need a bigger entrance. She had the Tony Award.
It was a little. We saw that coming.
Yeah, I literally saw it happening. Like, and I shouldn't be able to anticipate when she's gonna come in. I mean, they say she's coming. There's a whole song leading up.
Yes, we know she's coming, but like how she shows up.
Yeah, I immediately knew she was behind
the rats.
Yeah, shouldn't be like that. And also, we'll go into costumes. She needs a better wardrobe, Miranda at least.
Oh my god, yes. She's given like, okay, she looked like a boss, but like the boss of like maybe like
a 1960s, 70s magazine.
Not even a magazine. Like she looks like she's given like a New Jersey. Like she works in like an office kind of
pharmaceuticals,
and she'd be like fashionable there, but like here, I'm like not that fashionable.
Yeah.
We said I did like the red hair.
The red, maybe if it was a different type of red though.
Or maybe it just needed a different style. The wig.
Yeah, it kind of matches Beth's hair a little too much. Bit. Like it looked, it looked it's too pedestrian. Yeah, is that the word? Yeah, it needed to be something a little more edgy.
We need an Edna Mode.
Yeah, she was gonna have red hair. Maybe it needs to be like fire engine red.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Or like a streak of red. Or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
we definitely need to revisit the costumes. Like you said, where's William Ivy Long?
Yeah, yeah, and I was expecting to see a bit more,
like on stage,
like
costume
changes, like, like it's a runway magazine. I was expecting for them to just throw us little, like, outfit changes in the middle of a scene, and we just being like, wow, just because they could,
right?
Like, where's William Ivy Long when you need him?
Yeah.
To do a twirl and you have on a new outfit. You know what I mean?
We needed like a company and then like strobes and then like ding ding and then like a fashion show.
You see? If they went a little more camp, it could have been, like it's there. They just needed the vision needs to be like
so near.
Like it's here and it needs to just go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh man. But
I was very excited. I'm so glad we made this
trip.
I
really did enjoy myself. Like, I did not enjoy myself. What else? There was. Oh no, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we covered a lot. We've been talking for 30 minutes.
Oh wow. So sorry about that. But let's show you the merch so you can get you folks out of here. We might have to put timestamps in the video so people know.
If you want to see the merch, if you want to see us talk about,
so the merch is not our favorite, but we can't not get a T-shirt. Yeah. So that's all.
They didn't have much. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. It was like what Miranda says.
Yeah, and where's the D? The DWP. Where's that at? Oh, there it is. The Devil Wears Prada mark at the bottom.
Oh, I gotta wash that shirt. It smells like it came out of
a box. Yeah, I wish they put the on the back at least.
Yeah, some devil ears.
Or something. They could have gave us the tail.
They could have gave us the devil ears, like here.
Yeah. Well, just in the back. This is This is an expensive shirt just to have this.
It is.
And that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if it comes to Broadway, you know, they probably will up the game, but yeah, it's a bit disappointing. And this was it, and they had mugs. No window cards.
And the mugs, on the mugs, the line is not even in the show. I think it used to be.
What was the mug say?
It says, oh no, she does say it. She does say it. She was like, don't bore me with your questions or something. No. Yeah, she does say it.
Mm-hmm.
She does say it.
Not for the fashion week, which is cute and funny. You know. This is an adventure to come to Chicago to see this show. And so it'd be great. So if it does end up going to Broadway, we can say we saw it back in Chicago.
Yep. Jesse Hooker Bailey has so said, it's a work in progress.
It is, and it's the bones are there. It is not something that can be like scrapped. It's not to be, you know, like
yes.
we've seen, you know, a lot of reviews on Twitter and stuff like that. People don't care for it.
Oh, does that break my pen?
But I do care for it, and I would like to see it fully in its final form of like full glory. Hopefully they you know, call us. Let's just the production team and stuff call us.
Oh.
We'll be glad.
Call us?
Yeah, call us. We'll be glad to talk some things out. Like, but
I want to design merch.
That too.
Like Mrs. Cerulean shirts.
That would have been great. That was a missed opportunity. Bye.
Bye.